Good morning, Sava here from Sava Talk Spurs. This is my daily thought, and today I'm joined by the wonderful, the one and only Henry Wright TV. Mr. Wright, how are we?
I'm good. Yeah, we're still here. It's 9:20, and we're already talking about Tottenham.
Listen, you wouldn't have it any other way, would you? So today, my daily thoughts, everybody, is going to be about the poison that is Daniel Levy and Enic. So I just want to put it out there that I've done lots of videos lately about my dissatisfaction, as you know, Henry, about the football that Antonio Conte plays, but I don't want people to ever think that I have stepped away from my beliefs and the actual issue at this football club, that is Daniel Levy and Enic. So Henry, I want to get straight into it and just say, from my point of view, what I don't understand is 22 years on, I don't care what certain YouTubers say, what other people say in backing them, that success isn't measured on trophies. They have won one trophy in 22 years. Mm-hmm. They oversee recruitment, they oversee managers, they oversee medical staff, they oversee construction.
Absolutely
everything. Does the buck stop with Daniel Levy and Enic?
Well, you just mentioned there they oversee everything. So look at the managers we've had. The last two managers we've had, Jose and Conte. We exclude Nuno. Two of the most successful managers in the last decade.
Yep.
Can you name one world-class player we've signed?
No, absolutely. There hasn't been a world-class player.
The best analogy I've ever heard was when you said about if you owned a business and your business was failing, would you sack the CEO? Or would you give the CEO a pay rise? Would you give the CEO absolutely everything he wants? But
yep.
My question to you is, we've seen in the last 24 hours that the club is up for sale. Mm. Do you think it ever will be sold?
No, I think it will be. I think when it gets to a point that they make so much money from it, i.e. they bought it for £19 million.
But they want 3 billion. So the club is worth 2.2 billion and we're in debt 800 million. Mm-hmm. So you've got to take on the debt as long as the club. But who's going to pay 3 billion for Tottenham?
I think many people will. If you look at it, this is the thing for me. If you look at Chelsea just went on the market, right? And they had, if I'm not wrong, there was something between 15 and 20 official bids between 2.5 and 3.5 billion. There are some very wealthy people out there. But my point is this, okay? 22 years, one trophy. Now let's move on from that because we can't change that fact no matter how much we talk about it.
It's not even a Premier League, an FA Cup or Champions League. It's a League Cup.
It's a League Cup. So one League Cup in 22 years. That, funny enough, our fans still belittle these cups, by the way. When you talk about winning a League Cup, our fans say, oh, we want better than that. And I'm like, well, hang on. We can't even win one of them. My point is this. As much as I dislike the brand of football that we're playing, okay, as much as I might get on Antonio Conte's back, the fact is, again, Henry, we've gone into another season where the manager has simply not been given the tools to do his job. Mm-hmm. Now, through all the shows we do, week in, week out, throughout the summer, every transfer update, lots of fans told me, or they did tell me, Henry, this is a great transfer window. We have added depth, we have added quality, we have addressed 3 or 4 of the problems within the 11. What did we actually address? What have we done here?
Well, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Fans told us they didn't want Christian Eriksen, where he's, that Arsenal performance was out of this world. I thought he was the best player on the pitch by a country mile. Fans said they didn't want certain centre-backs, like, who's the guy from Frankfurt,
Ndicka, yeah. They didn't want Ndicka, Ibanez.
Yeah.
Didn't want any of these players.
There's no centre-backs out there yet. Chelsea can go and sign for Fofana, Koulibaly. Arsenal can bring back Saliba. Manchester United can bring in Martinez. Man City can bring in Akanji. But there's no centre-backs good enough for Tottenham.
Yeah.
This is what our fans need to pull their finger out, because when we're linked to a player, they're automatically 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
When Arsenal and Chelsea link with a player, oh, they're shit. No, they're not. They're not very good. Akanji will be one of Man City's best signings this season because he 15 million quid?
Yeah, £15 million from Dortmund.
Absolute steal with us. I mean, we've brought in Perisic, good player. We've brought in under Conte. We've brought in Kudu and Benson Core, but we have no creativity.
Yeah.
We have absolutely no creativity.
And this is what makes me laugh, right? And let's bring this back to the owners. What I keep hearing now is, at first, all of these fans told me that it was Conte's not here for fourth, Henry. Conte's not here for fourth. He's here to win now. He's here to win immediately. He's going to get this great big war chest, which apparently was 150 million, but 150 million in the Premier League isn't a war chest.
That's what Arsenal have just spent. Or West Ham have just spent nearly 200.
Right.
West Ham.
Exactly. So everyone told me we were going to spend this war chest, that he wanted success immediately, that he was going to be backed, that we were going to buy a top right wing back, a top centre half, a playmaker, a top left wing back, another top striker. And then we get to the end of the window, you look at it and you go, well, what have we actually brought in? We've brought in a 33-year-old left wing back who is good going forward at times, but...
And he's going to have to play every single game.
Yeah, but you can see his legs
at
aren't
33
there.
years old.
33. You've got a centre-back that I truly believe is only playing week in, week out at the moment because Ben Davies is injured in Longley. You've got Richarlison, who, I don't mind Richarlison, but we've already seen that from the 10 appearances in a Spurs shirt he's had, he's only managed to score in one game with headers. And lots of fans would argue with you that his best position is through the middle, and he's never going to play that because of Harry Kane. You've got Basuma, who, for love nor money, Henry
can't get a game. Can't get a game. Spence.
Neither can Jed Spence. But yet, why are fans then telling me, Henry? Why are they telling me this manager has been backed? You're not telling me they were the players he wanted.
No, absolutely not. It's the same when we had Jose. We wanted Rodon, we wanted Bruno Fernandes and Ruben Diaz, and we got Lo Celso and Rodon. It's the same for all these owners, and it baffles me that fans still make excuses for these. Someone messaged me on Twitter the other day saying they've been one of the most successful owners in the last 20 years. But I say, what do you base success on?
Yeah.
What is the aim of elite sport? We don't. No one really cares about. Our net gross profit is £9 million more than Chelsea. Who cares?
Yeah.
Chelsea have won 2 Champions Leagues in the last decade, and we've won what in the last decade?
Yeah, absolutely nothing. I mean, I think what worries me about this is, look, as YouTubers, we get a certain platform where we can talk, and 50% of the people are going to agree with you, 50% of the people are going to hate you. And it's always funny, the 50% that hate you are so abusive, but that's life, right? What makes me laugh, though, is some of the YouTubers use their platform just to completely kiss the arse of the club. So I'm not going to say who, but yesterday I saw a post, you've seen it as well, where a YouTuber with, an influencer with a lot of followers turns around and says things like, "Oh, Brian Hill reminds me of a young Gareth Bale, and I think he's coming on well, and I think he's going to be excellent." And when you think, come on, this is no offence to Brian Hill, he is who he is, but this is just propaganda to blow smoke up the club's backside. But moving away from that, I just had to get that in because it just cracks me up. This is another window, Henry, where another manager has not been backed. And now those same fans that told me he was here to win instantly are now saying, give him 3 or 4 windows. Henry, 2 questions here. 1, is he going to be here in 3 or 4 windows' time? Because that's 2.5 seasons away. And 2, even if he is, are we going to back him with top players? Because I keep hearing we're going to back managers, and we never, ever do.
No and no. Is he gonna be here in 3 or 4 windows' time? Probably not. I think it will get to the point where he already looks frustrated. I can already see what we're gonna do. I don't want to say it, but there's a certain manager we're going to look at, and we will try and bring him back because no club will touch him with a barge pole at the moment because of his record at PSG. And even if we did bring in Pochettino or whatever manager it is, under Enic, we have never backed a manager. The most amount of money we've spent is about £130 million or £140 million. And the only reason we spent over £100 million in the first place was because we got Champions League football. Why have we got the most expensive season to get in Europe? Why have we got the best ground in Europe? Why have we got the best training facilities in the world? Harry Kane, Son, and we've got absolutely nothing. Yeah, and when you look at it as well, what's worrying is even Kane and Son are starting to not look. Something's not right. Kane's I was saying that Kane's legs have gone. You and Rance as well, and I spoke to Rance the other day about it. He's going to play 63 games this year. It's
taken its toll.
And
but again, Spurs at no point, we've let the Kane and Son relationship go on for 7-8 years now. At no point are we mixing it up. Let's just quickly move away from that, because what I want to look at here is the excuses that our fans make for these owners. Okay, it's so funny that the people that are very much Enic in, and look, you can say Enic in, Enic out. It doesn't really matter, whatever your opinion is. But the Enic in people will always go, well, how do you know the managers didn't want these players? Now, you're not telling me, Henry, right? These were the signings for let's look at Jose Mourinho and Conte. And the reason I'm picking them, we'll talk about Poch in a minute, but the reason I'm picking Jose and Conte, Henry, is because these are established winning managers that have won wherever they've been. Okay, the other managers we had weren't. So Jose Mourinho rocks up. Everyone gets really excited about this amazing window we've had. In 2 windows, Jose Mourinho was given Joe Hart, Joe Rodon, Matt Doherty, Gedson, Vinicius, Bergwijn, Reguilon and Bale. All right?
Apart from Bergwijn, where are all of those players?
Right. Exactly. But this is the point. Now, other than Bale, who I still don't believe that Jose wanted, because I don't think he was fit enough to play, and Bale even has come out and said that his regret was that he wasn't fit enough to do more when he came back to Spurs. There were fans, Henry, saying, well, Jose's been backed. Look, he's been backed. Look at that squad. And at the time, there were fans like me and you going, what? That's not being backed. Now let's fast forward this. Now I'm hearing the same things about Conte. Conte's been backed. With a centre mid, he doesn't play. With a centre half on loan for a year.
A right back he never wanted.
A right wing back that he didn't want and won't play. A goalkeeper who is a second string goalkeeper. So what has to happen, Henry, before fans wake up and see this is what our owners do? This has now been Conte, Jose, Poch, Redknapp, AVB, Yo. Look at AVB. Talked the other day about he was promised players like Matinho. Didn't get Matinho.
Matinho at the time was at
Sporting, maybe.
Yeah, Sporting or Benfica, one of the two.
Yeah,
might have even been might have even been Braga. But the point is, I think what will happen is for fans, a lot of our fans who are Enic in kiss leave his arse, is Conte will come out and rip them a new one. Do you remember when we lost to Burnley? We lost 1-0 at Turf Moor, and he looked distraught, and he was coming out saying, maybe I'm not this manager that everyone thinks I am. Maybe I don't have the tools and the credentials to do the job. But what it all comes down to is Daniel Levy. You look at managers like Guardiola, right? They might not spend the same amount of money as Man United in the last decade, but they've still spent about $1 billion. But how many poor players has he signed?
Exactly. Do you know, this is a really good point, Henry, because when people talk to me about, Man City have spent $1 billion and Chelsea spend this, they have. But if you look pound for pound at the players they've signed, the players we've signed, it's all relative. I think we spent something like 800 million in that time. How many of their players have gone on to win them trophies and have gone on to bigger clubs? How many of our players come in, go?
You look at Kai Havertz, they signed him for 90 million euros. He won in the Champions League with a winning goal, so he pays it back instantly. We spent 100 million on a Celso and Ndombele, and we can't even give him away on loan.
Yeah, right, absolutely. So, look, the point to all of this, so that we don't go on too long, is this is going to keep happening, right? And fans will not wake up. There are certain YouTubers, I've got friends that really like Enic and Levy and will tell you they've done a great job. And I don't want to hear about the stadium. By the way, the stadium is almost like a mortgage. When people tell us we're £1 billion in debt, it's like 30 million a year. Yeah?
Peanuts.
In football terms, £30 million a year. He makes that in refreshment, in terms of revenue on refreshments a season at the game. So when we're all buying beers and hot dogs and sausage rolls,
£7 sausage rolls,
right? That's paying the stadium off. Okay, for me, Henry, I unequivocally, I'm not even angry about it anymore. I want Enic and Levy to do the honourable thing and sell up, make your profit, put the club on the market, and let someone else have a go. Now, people will say, Henry, better the devil you know. But I don't believe a chairman can come in that can do any worse in terms of less than one trophy in 22 years.
First, how do we know if we don't try?
Right.
And number two, this is a question I've been asked a lot. Would you bring in a new owner but still have Levy operate the finances?
No. The club is he's too embedded in the club, and the problem is his attitude of winning doesn't matter. His attitude of, well, look at the stadium I've built you, look at the infrastructure, look at Tottenham as an area now because of me.
It's a brand. NFL deal, Lady Gaga, AJ.
But that's seeped through to the fans. That's seeped through now that we have fans. We have YouTubers that go on and go, it's not about trophies. Yeah, it's not about trophies.
According to some YouTubers, Man United are a success, even though they've won 14 Premier League titles.
But the thing is, it's worrying how many YouTubers think this. It's worrying how many people with podcasts and their own shows will come on and go, well, winning is nice, but it's not the metric of success. I speak to my mates who support all the other top clubs. None of them talk like that. I don't know any of my Chelsea fans or Arsenal fans that go, yeah, we're not bothered about winning. It's about where we were and where we've come to.
The Champions League final that Man City lost to Chelsea, how many times have you heard them bring that up? We lost to Liverpool and we bring it up here every conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, we made the Champions League final. We didn't win it though.
Yeah.
So it's irrelevant.
Yeah. See, Man City are desperate to win that Champions League final. Our fans still, we get people going, oh, do you remember where you were for the Ajax semi-final? Well, of course I remember where I was for the Ajax semi-final, but let's be fair. That was a great moment. That was a great moment by Lucas Moura. It wasn't a great game. It was a great moment by Moura. But we're getting off track here. But that's what we celebrate. At the end of the day, Henry, why won't the owners sell up, give someone else a chance? There will be buyers.
Because they will, but they're earning too much money, aren't they? There's going to be they'll come to a point where I don't think it will go out of Levy and Enic in a lifetime. I think it will be passed down to sons, etc. I just can't see it happening. You know, we earn more on a match day than any other team in Europe besides. I think Arsenal might be on par with us because the amount of money, like you said about drinks revenue, etc., merchandise, a lot. There's no reason for them to sell because they're always going to turn a profit. Whereas fans like me and you that will go to the stadium before tickets, food, and before you've done £100, like that Champions League game on Tuesday, we're not going. Because it's nearly £100 a ticket
I won't pay that.
Frankfurt. That's basically Europa League tie. We're not seeing Madrid, Barca, AC Milan, City. We're seeing Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And the way we played the other night. But anyway, Levy won't sell. There's no need for them to sell.
Yeah.
Because they're always going to turn a profit. And for fans like me and you, we're going to have to just keep telling all these fans I told you so, because it will come to a point where more and more people will come on our side.
The last thing I will say is, when I started, I think I was one of the original people who was like Enic, Levy out with the likes of Stel. This is when you were a lot younger, right? 10, 15 years ago. And since then, what I've seen is a lot more people have come over and realised, hang on, yeah, nothing's changing. I hope a lot more do. My first hope is that they change. My first hope has been for years that they change and actually invest in the club and buy players that managers want, not constantly the cheap alternative. But that's not happened. So hopefully more people will join what's perceived as the dark side, or what I call the winning side. But more than that, more than anything, Henry, it's not fair on the fans, is it, that pay extortionate amounts of money and we don't see top signings come in. I'm not even talking world class here. I'm talking about a James Maddison coming in. Yeah, I'm talking about Undercar. I'm talking about Milenkovic-Savic's,
Bastoni, etc.
Right. These players I would never put into a bracket of world class. Why can Tottenham not get any of these players? Why are Arsenal able to buy players like Thomas Partey? Why were they able to buy Aubameyang? Why are they able to buy Gabriel Jesus?
They signed Aubameyang, Lacazette and Thomas Partey all while being in the Europa League. The thing is, we don't have the pull of a club like Arsenal. Fans is a bitter pill to swallow because they've won trophies and they will win trophies. We haven't won anything now. This will be 15 years. Yeah. This is our longest trophy drought, I think, ever. This is our longest trophy drought, definitely in the last 70, 80 years. So for a player like Richarlison, it's an upgrade going from Everton to Tottenham. Bissouma, Everton to Tottenham. Bastoni had one look at us and went, Brighton to Tottenham. Bastoni looked at us and went, You're having a laugh, aren't you?
True, but there's still so many players out there that with the right scouting, it should be better. Look, at the end of the day, I want Enic out. I want Levy out.
Yeah.
This isn't oh my God, look at me, I'm crying. I've said this for years, right? I've always wanted them out. I want somebody to come in that will give the owner, that will give the manager an opportunity, i.e., and I'm going to wrap up in a second, but i.e., the Chelsea owners have come in. Yeah,
he's been there 5 minutes.
He's literally been there in football terms 5 minutes. He's joined 3 months ago, and look how he backed.
They've just agreed to sign Conte, and they're going to go back and get Guardiola. So a centre back that wasn't good enough for us by our fans.
Yeah,
and he's brought in Koulibaly.
And you watch when Chelsea sign Nkunku, it will be, oh well, he wouldn't get in our 11. You watch.
He doesn't start over Harry Kane. It's a squad game.
Yeah.
How many times have we badgered on about this?
But guys, look, we're going to wrap it up there. In summary, I just want a chairman, I want an owner that has an ounce of ambition on the pitch. I don't want to keep hearing from fans about this training ground which has produced 0 from our academy since Harry Kane. Nothing. I'm not counting Ollie Skip. I'm talking since Harry Kane, we've produced nothing. I don't care about the infrastructure of the stadium. It's lovely when you're in there, but as I always say, Henry, when the music stops, it's a bit of grass in the middle of a pit, a bit of grass with 11 Spurs players on it. That's all from me. Thank you, Henry, for joining me this morning. A bit of a longer Savage Daily Thought. Please let us know your thoughts. Hit the like button. I'm sure we're going to get, I can tell you the stock answers we're going to get. Who would you have come in over them? That's not my business. There are many billionaires.
Who would you get if Conte went?
Who would you get if Conte? All these different type of questions. All I want to know is, what do you think? Are Levy and Enic, we've got to put them in together. Are Levy and Enic doing a good job? Have they overseen our worst trophy drought? Is that success? Do you count average league position as success? What do you think? Henry, thank you very much.
Yeah,
everyone else,
as always,
hit the like button, subscribe. We're flying at the moment. We're getting a lot of subscribers. We're moving forward, and we'll be doing another live show at the weekend. Tomorrow, and then at the weekend. I'll be with Henry for a watch along. Take care. See you later. Cheers.